Hello and welcome to episode 27? 27 of SWA Podcast. I had to ask because it's been a while, because much like WWE Creative, we got towards the end of the year last year and just couldn't be bothered. So, if they can't be bothered, then why should dedicated Marky Mark fans follow suit? Busy life, whatever. I'm Reese. Joining me, as always, is Harry. Say hello, Harry.
Hello, Reese. You alright?
All good, thank you. We're here to talk about wrestling, and there's been a lot of wrestling in the last couple of days, so I think we should just jump straight back on the horse. That's an expression, isn't it?
Yeah, I was going to say...
Get back in the saddle. That's the expression I'm looking for.
That's it. I was going to say as well, we're reformatting the programme, because...
We're just going to talk less bollocks.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Our previous podcast was like a belly of pork, and now it's like muscular and compact, like corned beef.
Oh, I do like belly of pork, though.
Oh, so do I. It's nice, yeah.
Yeah, it's the fat, you see. The fat makes it... Yeah. Anywho, what was that we said about not talking bollocks?
No, well, we'll be alright.
Yeah. Right then. So, let's kick off this monstrous weekend, as WWE usually do with their big 4 pay-per-views now. NXT Takeover Phoenix. What did you think of NXT Takeover Phoenix, Harry?
I thought it was a very, very good show, as most of the NXTs are. I think it kind of peaked at the very centre with Gargano and Ricochet. I thought that was a stellar match. It
was fucking awesome, yeah.
Absolutely awesome. I think the crowd kind of petered out from that moment onwards, which was a shame because the rest of the matches were perfectly fine. But again, much like NXT takeovers, you always feel a bit optimistic about future booking, and this one in particular, because it looks like, unless there's Full Sail tapings from today onwards go in another direction, it sounds like they're going to be trying to attempt in some sort of big 5-way or 6-way match at some point.
Who with?
Ciampa, Black, Gargano.
Oh right,
Ricochet,
the
Dream,
post show thing, or the end show sequence. Yeah, which is strange because we've already had War Games.
They're doing that 6-man tag team match for Halftime Heat or whatever the fuck. It's that thing that's next week, isn't it?
Oh, what? They're doing a Super Bowl show?
Yeah, they've brought it back, Halftime Heat.
Oh, okay. That'll be...
Because it's been 20 years since the previous one, where Mankind and The Rock have a Vince
Empty
Russo
Arena.
special.
Empty Arena match. Yeah.
Whoa, what if American football fans watch Mankind and Rock in a pre-tape and Rock loses the title when Mick Foley uses a fucking forklift?
Yeah, he does, doesn't he? Doesn't he pin him to the floor? That was weird.
It's a load of bollocks.
My favourite Empty Arena match is the one that Minoru Suzuki did, I think last year or the year before, in the empty Tokyo Dome for DDT.
Oh, God.
It's brilliant.
Was it pre-taped?
It is
Obviously,
brilliant.
It must be. Yeah, everything's pre-taped.
I think they do theirs live, or they do them live on their over-the-top service. But yeah, that was wonderful because they just start off on the pitcher's mound and then just fight all over the arena. It's bloody brilliant.
Well, the Halftime Heat one, going just before we continue talking about current wrestling, the one I always remember, the 1999 one, is Mankind's like using this, it's like a forklift or something, and you see a reaction, like a first-person reaction of The Rock, who's like, no, and it's like, the way the camera is, there must be a cameraman sitting on the forklift as it pins him down.
Yeah, it's kind of kayfabe shattering, I guess.
It's so stupid. But then again, as Russo would always say, it's like, if you're flicking through channels, bro, and you see something like that, you're going to be wondering what's going on. And I'm like, most people watching that will probably be like, Christ, wrestling's fucking stupid, isn't it?
Yeah, that is usually what happens, yeah. Look at this carny bullshit. We're not watching this. Yeah.
I'm going back to football.
Yeah.
But anyway, no, NXT was good. NXT was very good.
I love the War Raiders match. I thought that was fantastic. I'm a big fan of them, actually. I was slightly worried when they signed and they just weren't immediately pushed to the moon. I think sometimes we might forget sometimes that these guys do. I'm kind of sipping the Kool-Aid, I guess, but like they apparently some people need a lot of work in terms of how to work a hard camera and how to do certain WWE matches. I'm not saying it's the best way to do things, far from it, but Yeah, they're great. I'm glad that they seem to be getting a push. The second I saw their entrance, I was like, oh well, I know who's winning this match.
I think it's inevitable the Undisputed Era are getting promoted at some point, whether or not they'll go with the whole unit. It's definitely happening now, unless for some reason Cole wins the NXT title.
Which I'm surprised hasn't happened, to be perfectly honest.
He has indeed. He's had that North American title, and
he set that up quite well, didn't he?
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily mean if you're I was going to say world champion, but if you're an NXT champion, you're going to succeed anyway, and he'll be all right, hopefully.
Yeah, I thought the Matt Riddle Ono match was pretty good because I just think, and Meltzer kind of touches on this. If you put Riddle and Ono in the ring together and said, right, have a whopper match, it would be you could just get this amazingly wonderful indie-tastic match where they both just knock the shit out of each other. But clearly Ono was sent in there with the objective of getting Matt Riddle over as much as possible and put him over, and he did. And I thought Riddle looks great. I really do think the ceiling is very high for him in WWE, but it just all depends on what the mad old man does with him.
I just think it's going to be Van Damme all over again, literally because he's quite laid back and he's quite chill, and I think they're just going to do the exact same thing.
Yeah, they've stopped calling him the King of Bros now. He's now the original bro, so
yes,
bro original.
You can do loads of variations. I like his T-shirt though. I don't know if that's a Wrestle T-shirt or
that'll be an NXT WWE one. Might have to look out for that. It looked quite good.
That question, I've never seen a submission match end because the bloke's getting beaten up.
That's an MMA thing, so you tap to strikes. I thought on television that looked quite decent, but I think in the crowd seemed to be a bit behind on that because they were like, "Oh, what is over?"
So, exactly. I thought, it's like a technical knockout or such because it's available what you get in boxing sometimes. I've never seen it in wrestling before, but it's new. It looks Riddle look good.
Puts him over. Well, I suppose the only technically a similar thing was when Brock obliterated Orton, but that was a referee stoppage, not a tap.
Yeah. Probably the referee was a bit concerned that Orton's head was split open from the back of it to the front.
Yeah. Cue raging Chris Jericho.
Oh, he's done that again this week as well.
That was good. Gargano Ricochet was simply the best match of the weekend.
Oh yeah, that's no.
I mean, not being funny, but it was the most predictable thing ever that they'd have a fantastic match, So
yeah, exactly. I'm just always a bit concerned about both of these guys, wherever they're going to end up. Gargano's probably going to get the call up very soon because he made his. Well, actually, saying that, Cole was in the Rumble last year and he hasn't moved up, but Gargano was in the Rumble this year. I think Ricochet has all the charisma in the world. I dread to think he'd get relegated to 205 Live.
He can't. Surely can't, but who knows? Honestly knows?
Same with Gargano. But I feel more optimistic about Ricochet. Gargano is a bit of an oddity, but it was a fantastic match from both these guys.
Yeah, it was really, really good. Just, I mean, that's 5 stars. Easy. Yeah. Gargano's the new North American champion, which is cool. Ricochet held it for a little while. Pretty good. Well, no, it was amazing. Baszler and Bianca Belair was all right. I thought it was going to be a bit shy, actually, but actually turned out to be good. Just in a bit of a death spot, really. I don't think there actually, unless this match opened the card, it was always gonna kind of struggle after any of the other matches. But NXT does like to start off hot, especially with the tag division. So it was kind of, don't want to say the piss break because that sounds quite disrespectful, but yeah, it was before the main event. It was, I think, a lot better than most people thought it would be. I think Bianca Belair's quite cool and a big fan of Shayna Baszler. That was a good match. Yeah, can't knock that one. Baszler retains her title, so God knows what they're going to do with her next.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I thought Belair might win this, but on the other hand, it's like now that Baszler's actually won, it's like who's actually left in that division?
Yeah, I mean, if this 4 horsewoman thing is going to actually happen soon, then I suppose she gets called up for that.
I don't think it is. I think Meltzer was one saying the women are shooting their own angles, but if the news about Ronda's true, I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon.
Well,
they could still be a unit, the three of them. But
we live in hope. I think that would be a really good angle, really good program.
It's just a big what if. But yeah, I'm same sentiment. Baszler is fantastic. I have no idea who's going to challenge her now. They're literally running out of people.
Yeah, that's right. You're right. And then the main event: Tommaso Ciampa defeated Aleister Black, retained his NXT Championship. Two questions. Is this one of the best title runs you've seen in, let's exclude Okada from this. Let's say purely WWE universe. Is this one of the best title runs in the last few years? And also, I'm pretty sure Aleister Black's coming up to the main roster very soon. What do you reckon?
He must be, surely. Regarding the latter, definitely with Black, he must be coming up. It's again, he's a guy who's made his debut in the Rumble. He's been on main event as well previous to this, so surely it's happening sooner rather than later. Ciampa, though, he's doing phenomenally well.
Yeah.
I think he's a bit of I do think the storyline has been derailed as such. I don't think it was supposed to be with him and Gargano, him turning heel and then Gargano turning heel. I think that's a case of the crowd derailing Gargano's momentum because he messed up for Black, and the crowd they don't have any sympathy with people that screw up. So they've had to think on their feet and go, right, we'll just get Gargano as a heel now.
Well, so I think taking off my Mark hat and putting on my Booker hat. Armchair Booker, you're right. I'm fairly certain what's going to happen is the story's going to unfold that Ciampa has been doing this stuff with Gargano in terms of kind of helping him out, and there being a weird tease that they might get back together in a heelish capacity. I've got a feeling that the whole point is that he's doing that to try and be friends with Gargano so that Gargano doesn't want to kick his teeth in. And then you'll get to a point on probably the television where Gargano actually says, no, fuck you, turns on him, creates a champion vs champion angle for the NXT WrestleMania weekend, and probably should just beat him, you'd imagine. But who knows? That's what I think's going to happen.
With both titles?
Well, I don't know. You'd probably make Gargano drop it on the TV, maybe, because I don't think NXT needs a double champion. Also, that would tie Gargano to NXT for probably another 3 to 6 months. So, it depends on what they want to do with him. But that's what I think they're going to do. I think that you'll probably have the blow-off to their feud Mania weekend, and it should really end with Gargano winning the gold. But who knows? I've very much enjoyed and loved this Ciampa title run.
I am, yeah. I think he's definitely been the best heel throughout the entire company, throughout the entire year or so.
Easily.
His reign is a bit of an oddity. I never thought he'd actually win the title, as ridiculous as it is, especially before Gargano.
Suits him though, right?
It does, yeah, to be fair. I do think it's going to, rather than it just be the pair of them having that match on the WrestleMania weekend, I do think it's going to be some massive 6-person or 6-man match for the title, and I think it'll be someone who's never won the world title, maybe Ricochet will win it, and then the pair of them will migrate up as DIY, and they'll get over as ruthless heels, which get a babyface reaction. It's so fucking topsy-turvy wrestling there, because everyone gets cheered unless you're a particularly bad wrestler, and heels still get cheered anyway. There's a contingent in this crowd as well where it was Ciampa was over, despite the fact a year ago, no one liked him.
Yeah.
It's so different there from what it used to be. That's not me complaining. It's it just literally is so different. But very much looking forward to where NXT is going. Again, it's it's the unknown factor into it. It's not predictable. Yeah. So we wait with bated breath, or whatever the fucking term is.
Yeah. No, yeah, spot on. Right, I suppose we better talk about the Rumble then.
7 hours.
Gee, I'm looking at it now. It's 10 matches, 7 on the main card. The Women's Royal Rumble went 72 minutes.
You know the scary bit? That was a better Rumble in my opinion than the gents.
Well, we'll get to that in a moment. I mean, sorry we said we're not going to. Let's just tick some of these things off.
I'm not going for every elimination.
No, we're not. Oh God, no! Don't.
I'm not doing that again.
I'll be honest with you. Even with notes, I can't. I'd have to really extensively note the key points because I thought the men's rumble especially was incredibly forgetful.
Yeah, it was. We might as well just say it there. So much padding, so many filler people that have no chance of winning and have put into the Rumble, despite the fact they've got literally the most stacked roster in their history, minus the Hulkamania era and maybe the Attitude era. So 3/4 of the WWE's modern history.
I mean, we'll get to it in a minute, but yeah. I mean, the pre-show looks meh.
Pre-show was not bad.
Did you actually watch it? Of course you did. You always watch it. Yeah.
Of course I watched it. Pre-show wasn't bad. The 205 live match was very good. Rusev Nakamura shocked that the title reign changed or title change. Even more shocked that there was actually an angle shot that would actually have major implications for the main show. And Bobby Roode and this random tag team. Bobby Roode and Chad Gable, random enough, are tag team champions.
Yeah, against Dawson and Razor.
Dawson and Razor, because what's his name? Akam is injured, so Razor has to wrestle. And the Revival want to go to AEW, so this is their way of trying to appease them. So it wasn't a bad match. It's terrifying that Chad Gable, I don't know what they don't see in him. They could literally have on their hands one of the best pure wrestlers ever, and he's literally on pre-show with Bobby Roode, who's got he had so much momentum in NXT. They're literally curtain jerking the curtain jerk.
So when you said earlier about NXT champions will be all right, I was going to say Bobby Roode, but I did hold off.
You can also add Bo Dallas and Big E to that accolade as well. Winning that title does not mean, and Neville for that matter.
Oh, Neville did all right.
Not well.
Well, he jobbed to Enzo. He jobbed to Enzo twice, but yeah. Also, I mean, Buddy Murphy, Akira Tozawa, Utami, and Kalisto. On paper, that looks like a fantastic match.
It was a good match. It was just short.
12 minutes, yeah.
I would have easily had that against one other match on that main show. You can probably guess which one.
Yeah. Well, God, we'll get to that in a sec. I thought the Asuka Becky match was quite great.
Yep.
I thought that was great. I'll be honest with you. I thought both women's title matches were excellent. I really enjoyed the Ronda Sasha match as well.
Yeah, same here. But it's a non-point now, and it sounds ridiculous because it's like WWE's women's wrestling has come so far in the last 3 or 4 years. But the title matches, especially, have just been stellar from this show. Asuka and Becky was better than I expected it to be, which is really disheartening considering that both of them are really big favourites of mine.
Yeah,
it was better than what I thought it was going to be.
I thought there'd be bollocks. I thought that they'd try and make Becky out to be like a victim. Like, you know, it's often thought of as that.
Yeah.
The two routes that they could have gone was Charlotte interferes and Becky gets her own back by winning the Rumble or whatever, or Becky loses, but then the big surprise is even though she lost, she still comes back and wins the Rumble. Obviously, that was
they kind of
what
did.
Happened. Yeah, I mean, I was saying this to you earlier today. I mean, talking about the two women's matches as a whole, I believe that Becky tapped clean to Asuka. Nearly said Osaka there. It's because of the tennis player, not because I'm an idiot. But I think Becky tapped clean to Asuka because they're setting up the Becky and Ronda thing. Or maybe they'll add Charlotte, who knows? I hope they don't, but they probably will. So I think that Becky's tapped to Asuka to show that Becky tapped to a submission. And I also thought that Ronda won by pinfall to show that she isn't just a submission wrestler. I thought that there was I thought they added an element of even more danger because actually her Piper's Pit, if she hits it right, she can actually get a 3 count over a 3-time or 4-time women's champion, whatever Sasha is. So I thought that storytelling between those two matches was actually quite good. And obviously Becky wins the Rumble because that was what was always going to happen. Her or Charlotte, I guess.
You say that, but it's WWE booking. For all we know, they might have had Charlotte win the fucking thing.
Well, I think
never a given. Man.
Those were the favourites, yeah. But I really enjoyed both of these women's matches. I thought they were great. I think Ronda... I have a question, actually. I was going to bring up about Ronda. Would you say, and this I don't mean this in a horrible way because I actually think she's been I think she's been great. But do you think that if she was to finish up after Mania, that's like that means she's done roughly like a year and 5 months in WWE? Was it a success? If that was to be the case, obviously, I just mean
in regards to what?
I mean, she wasn't a draw, was she?
I disagree. I'd say that they're stuck, and we have no idea what's said behind closed doors regarding that television deal. But can you imagine if Vince was like, "Oh, you're going to have Ronda Rousey on Fox," and it's like, suckers.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's probably something to that. I agree.
If you mean television ratings and network subscriptions, probably not.
Well, television ratings, Raw has had one of the worst years it's had in a very long time.
But on the other end, you could push it and say, well, Ronda's not on every week, so...
Then when she is advertised, she doesn't... I don't think she's been a failure, because I think she's been fucking brilliant, but I think, like, in terms of when she first arrived and it was on all of the news around the world, you know, as a pop culture thing, I think it was really big and stuff, but did that turn into anything? I don't know if it did.
Nah, she had the initial intrigue when she made her debut, which was arguably carried over from WrestleMania 31. She had the best match at WrestleMania 33 or 34, whatever the fuck.
Last Mania, yeah, she did.
Last Mania, yeah, I forget what numbers they are. She's had a fantastic year. And I'm not disputing that. And this has come from someone who basically, you can listen to the Royal Rumble review. My horror of, this is going to be a nightmare scenario. I'm actually going to be really annoyed if she actually goes, even though, fair play to her. She can do whatever she wants.
I think she's gonna. I think what the talk is that she won't be an active member of the roster no longer, but she will probably pop up every WrestleMania season and do a feud. She may well be the female version of Brock or Taker. Really, you never know. So.
When you say Brock, it's literally like that was the nightmare scenario I was saying about.
Well, like how
I know what you mean. I know.
Yeah, when Brock first initially came back and he only turned up every 3 or 4 months, but yeah,
as opposed to now where he turns up every 3 or 4 months.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'll be disappointed to go, but I think it's probably true considering they put the belt on her quite quickly, so you kind of think maybe they knew they had only 18 months of her or whatever,
Yeah, I think it's a similar. Probably it'll come out later on. It's probably a similar circumstance to Bill Goldberg's WWE run, first one in 2003. They literally knew they had him guaranteed for a year. They might be able to extend it further depending on circumstance. Obviously, with Goldberg, there was a whole host of other issues during that run, which basically killed his run. Anyway, and then
Goldust's wig.
I was more the fight with Jericho, him having the argument with Triple H. Loads of things happened during that year.
Goldust's wig's probably the most damaging, though.
But regarding all the way to the point back, I think she has helped that women's division.
Yeah,
if she is going at this, if she is going at this point, as I said to you privately, it should have been a case of not build up for 4. Well, yeah, fuck it, build up for 4 months, have her as a champion from the next 4 months, and in the final 4 months she has to put people over, because ultimately you've got to think of what's happening next in wrestling. You can't just have someone fuck off, without, leaving not on their back. Yeah, obviously if she is facing Becky and possibly Charlotte at WrestleMania in that either the singles match or the triple threat match, then someone's got to go over, and it has to go over her.
I think that's what's going to happen. I think you're right there.
It'd be insane not to give it to Becky, but again, it's an unproven entity. But for all we know, things might change. Plans might change, pal.
Unproven entity, sure, but also the most over person on this whole show. By a country mile.
Yeah, I was going to say, no, they weren't on this show. I was thinking, no one in that men's rumble was as over as she was.
No.
But she will be missed if she is going.
And also,
she had a really good match on this card, though.
Her last big contribution may well be the first women's main event of a WrestleMania as well, which is a big deal.
I think they'd be mad not to do it.
I think they'd be mad not to, and I think they're gonna. I think if it's Becky and Ronda, or Becky, Ronda, and Charlotte, whatever we end up with, I think it's going to be fantastic.
I think so. I mean, going from they've released the local markets, when they show the advertisements for Fastlane, and apparently it's Becky versus Charlotte. I reckon that's got a stipulation written all over it where if Charlotte wins, she gets put into the main event.
or they do a double pin or something, and they both go in.
Something like that. It's obvious. But then again, as we've said, or I've said, just because wrestling's predictable doesn't mean it's necessarily a bad thing, because ultimately that's the natural conclusion of where a story can go. You can swerve people, but nonsensical swerves, again, they make no sense.
Yeah.
So I'm very interested to see where this goes. Again, because if Ronda is going, then the intrigue is who exactly gets the win over. Is it Becky or is it Charlotte? Because there's always that thing where it's like, well, Charlotte is the chosen one for that women's division. Becky's done her damnedest to get the Austin momentum, but it's WWE at the end of the day. You never know.
And Triple H is a huge Flair mark.
He is now. There's always been that thing. Do you remember that thing in 2000? He gave an interview to some radio station. He's like, I think Flair should retire. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Remembers when Triple H shadow over Ric Flair and then became his best friend when he joined the WWE?
I remember. I don't really want to talk about The Miz and Shane McMahon beating the Bar for the tag titles.
I knew this was gonna happen. It was so obvious.
Why is this second on the card and not being reserved for the piss break spot and the fucking dead crowd spot after the Women's Rumble?
My man doesn't go on pre-show.
No one gives a... No. Just even fucking swap it with the Bryan AJ match.
This should have been trimmed from the show entirely and just put on a SmackDown.
Yeah, good idea. Yeah,
the show was 5 hours. It did not need this tag team match. Don't get me wrong, the match was fine. There was absolutely nothing wrong with the match. It's just... I love Miz, I love Shane, I love the Bar, and yet this match exists, and it's just infuriating that the WWE SmackDown Tag Team Championship is now with a non-wrestler and Miz, who really should be doing better things now.
I'm assuming this is going to go towards a Miz and Shane McMahon match at WrestleMania. That's got to be where it's going to, right?
You'd think.
Or maybe Miz and Miz's dad against Shane and Vince McMahon.
You think Vince is going to bring himself down to wrestle the Miz and his dad?
Don't know. Have you seen the Raw ratings? and SmackDown's ratings. He's back on the fucking...
Say pow! I'm back!
He's back on TV pretty much most weeks now.
He's desperate.
God, he looks old.
Oh no, fuck, he looks weathered.
I know we all get old and stuff, but I just don't... When I see him these days, I just don't see him as Vince McMahon. I just see him as like an old... No,
I was going to say Robin McMahon. Sorry, Vince McMahon Senior, I think he looks like. He looks so weathered. But he's like 70-something.
Yeah.
It's like his TV age has just accumulated randomly in the last 5 years. He's so old.
You know his mum's still alive?
Yeah, he's like Mr. Burns' mother.
Oh, God. Taft, you old dog.
Vince has never forgiven his mother for having an affair with President Taft.
Taft, you old dog.
Hello, this is Mrs. McMahon.
Oh, yeah. Monty! Right. Enough bollocks.
Anyway, enough bollocks.
Women's
Rumble, we've done the Women's Rumble.
Well, no, let's discuss a little bit more. Just a little bit.
All right, go on. Okay.
It's a 72-minute Rumble, which is too long for any Rumble.
It was still good, though.
I thought the first half was terrible, and I thought the second half, where all the stories kind of come together, it actually redeemed itself and was head and shoulders above the men's Rumble.
Do you know what's refreshing, though? I think you're going to mention anyway.
Go on.
The lack of legends.
Well, with both Rumbles, I think both Rumbles severely lacked I don't know. Women's Rumble. Who was the surprises for the women's?
The NXT call-ups.
I mean, that's not a surprise, is it?
No, that's pretty much it, though. That's it.
I mean, the biggest surprise was Becky getting in.
Yeah, but that pop, that was the absolute right call.
I love how it was Finlay that let her in as well.
I did as well. I was like, the Irish, they always stick together, don't they?
Let me in there, you bastard! No!
She should have just said, I'm the potato lady.
Where
the hell have you been?
Where the hell have you been? Potato man. Yeah, I thought it was a decent Rumble. I thought ultimately the ending was the right ending. 72 minutes though. I saw it the 10th time I've said it on this show.
Oh no, it's a long old show. This match was a fifth of it, which is not, which is still a very bad thing to say.
Well, people kept missing their spots. That's what caused it. So obviously, a rumble is done by everyone has a spot, and then the second one person misses a spot for 10 seconds, that means the next spot and the next spot and the next spot. It was just
they had two ladies doing the Kofi spot, which I don't think is necessary.
Well, the thing is, Naomi did it last year. So she had to do it again. And then they had the American Ninja female winner, who's now a wrestler. So obviously she had to do it because she's the fucking American Ninja winner. So that's the whole point. She's an agile whatever. I mean, that's what she was in it to do. But Naomi kept her spot. I did pop when Mandy eliminated her, though, because I thought that was quite funny. Because, again,
sure.
Naomi's rubbish. But... yeah, it was just. Mean. I mean, last year when you had like Molly Holly and Lita and Trish, I mean, all it needed was like another moment like that. I mean, did Alundra Blaze was in the Mania thing, wasn't she?
No, Alundra was.
Oh, sorry. No, Alundra Blaze was in Evolution in the Battle Royal.
That's right. So I was thinking, was she commentator? But no, it was it Beth Phoenix?
Beth Phoenix, yeah.
Still talking about a Hall of Fame 2 years ago.
God. Yeah. So Becky won. She went over Charlotte, and spoilers, but Becky's obviously chosen Ronda for Mania.
Yeah, she's on Raw.
Yeah.
I was going to say as well. This Rumble, both of them had very similar things. Like they both obviously have the Kofi spots. In the ladies' case, it had 2 Kofi spots. There's a segment where a competitor is taken out of the Rumble and is replaced by a random person. In this case, it's Becky for the women's, and when we get to the gents, it's Nia.
Mm.
They were very similar altogether. It was very unusual. It's just obvious that the women's padded their numbers out with a bunch of NXT call-ups or NXT hopefuls, whereas the men's, it was just, oh, God. I mean, we'll get to it, but Jesus, it was padded.
Yeah. And then just one last note for the Women's Rumble. Maria Kanellis must have added a good 6 minutes onto the runtime because she fucked a lot of things up.
She was in it for 10 minutes?
Yeah, and she
missed... felt like I thought she was going to be in it for like a minute or so, especially with the news that's circulating around where her and Mike want to get the fuck out.
Which has been denied, but then Meltzer said it did happen.
They were supposed to have a Valentine's Day thing on the network, but that's been shit canned, so read into that. Obviously, you can ask who's actually watching this shit, but then again, WWE put all kinds of nonsense out on their network just to fill time and, make content.
True, yeah. Well, anyway, moving swiftly on.
Mm-hmm.
The death spot of the evening went to Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles.
What did you think of this match?
Well, I thought it was good.
I thought it was great.
It was very good. It's just it had a shit finish, or it had a fuck finish, and the crowd was dead.
Yeah.
Which a hot crowd always elevates a match. Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles don't need a hot crowd to have a great match, and it was a great match. You're right. The Eric Rowan thing's interesting, I guess, but a bit out of left field. Yeah, I thought it was all right. It was good overall.
I thought this was a great match. I wouldn't have had Rowan debut as Daniel's associate on this show. I might have probably done it in SmackDown and had that element to it on the actual pay-per-view because I think that didn't help the match either. But as you say, it's in a death spot, and it's how long was this match? 20 minutes?
24 minutes, 35 seconds.
Jesus. Again, it's like, why are these matches so long on this card?
Yeah,
I don't know. Probably had a bit of trimming. I mean, I love this match. I thought it was very good, even though the crowd they just dumped all over it just because they were tired. But these shows are 5 hours, and you either trim stuff or just... I don't know. But then again, I preferred this match than the Gents Rumble.
Yeah.
The tag team match. But
so, are they going to do like a vegan straight edge society kind of thing, do you reckon?
I think they are. Yeah, they're going to dress up in Misfit t-shirts and plaid lumberjack shirts. Basically dress like me and you wear and just complain about how capitalism ruins everything.
But we love capitalism.
I fucking love capitalism.
And we love beefed burgers.
I do. Fucking fucking socialist weasels. No, I'm joking. Yeah, I think it's going to be, as we've said, it's going to be like Straight Edge Society all over again, which I'm completely happy with. I think Daniel's been having an absolute fucking tear recently with his promo work.
Oh, he's doing really good.
It's literally it's him in real life turned up to like 25. You know, I guess in real life he's placid, but here he's like, criticising the arena for serving beef burgers and fucking, oh, Vince McMahon, you're like a baby boomer leeching off of the current generation, and there's like people that are going, yeah, he's right.
Yeah. The hand thing means the taxes.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. He's gonna get pops though, because there will be contingents of the crowd that actually agree with him politically, and they're like,
yeah. Also, he is Daniel Bryan,
and he is Daniel Bryan, but it's like he's done so well. Fucking, if you were to tell me last year Daniel Bryan's returning from his significant brain injury, and in 10 months you'll be booing him because he's a fucking social justice warrior turned up to 15 or something. Like, oh my god, fuck off! No, it's not.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, especially against AJ, who's literally like his polar opposite.
Yeah, Mr. Reliable AJ.
He's fine. Everything is extenuated. He doesn't think the world is flat. He just wants some hardcore evidence that it definitely is round.
Yeah. Well, Brian retains, and Brock Lesnar retains.
Of course.
I thought this was a really good 8 minutes 40. To be honest,
I thought it was incredibly predictable. Commentary did not help.
It was predictable. Finn was never winning, but I thought this was a action-packed 8 minutes of wrestling. It was pretty good. Finn got all his spots in. I'll tell you what, the only thing that ruined it for me was Brock beating him up after the match finished. Because
that was to elevate. That's to elevate Finn, even though he's the first ever Universal Champion and shouldn't be elevated.
But it's not really, is it? It's kind of making him. It's kind of building him up and then kind of taking him down, if you ask me. But there you go.
It depends what they do with him there. He'll probably just go back to the mid card. Away with you, Finn. Brock's got his payload. Fuck it. That's not a criticism of Brock. That's a criticism of their writing, because really Finn should be in a high level program for someone else now, but they fucking won.
Yeah, so Brock wins, and it's low Brock wins at the moment, isn't it?
No, I dread to think at Mania everyone's gonna be like, well, it must be Seth, and it's like, motherfuckers, we had the same conversation last year, and we've had it for the last 5 years.
Yeah,
he ain't going because Vince has got enough money now. He's got that Fox money. He can keep paying Brock, piddling him out. Brock can keep teasing he's going to go to UFC, going as far to enter the testing pool, and he ain't going fucking anywhere. He just wants a higher payday. And fair fucks, because Vince is stupid enough to pay him.
Yeah.
At least this match was good, but again, it's a Brock Lesnar versus a smaller guy. Smaller guy bumps around him, and he does a few suplexes and takes a bit of punishment and does a meme face during it.
Yeah, there's a new Bulk face during the Kimura.
But by that but the thing is, he's going to run out of smaller guys to work with. I mean, ideally in Brock's world, he'd probably work against Rey Mysterio because smaller guy, or Jeff.
No, technically Seth is smaller than him.
No, but I still remember that Battleground match or whatever it is, and that was shit. Although that was mainly an angle. That was to get Taker back on the.
Oh yeah, the one that Seth won by DQ.
That's it.
Or the one that Brock won by DQ, but Seth... That's the one with Seth doing the really funny, goofy face, isn't it, when he gets the belts at the end? That's really good, actually.
Yeah! That's it. I remembers. Vince doesn't. I remembers.
I remember.
Speaking of Seth...
Yeah, the 30-man Royal Rumble match. This went 50... Well, lucky for us, this only went 57 minutes.
I bet Vince was like, God damn it, pal, I'm not having the show go over 5 hours. Even I have limits.
Oh, bloody... yeah, well, that makes it sound as if I was against it. Seth wins, eliminating Braun.
Quite obvious, but fuck it.
This was an incredibly uneventful Royal Rumble.
Right. Repeating the same point, so much padding. So many guys in this match that have no way of ever getting to WrestleMania. And I know that's the Rumble's shtick. It's like, it's basically a title opportunity. But guys like fucking Kurt Hawkins, No Way Jose,
Jeff Jarrett's nipples.
Jeff Jarrett's nipples. Kurt Angle as well. What the fuck? Even Jinder to a certain extent. It's like, why is Jinder in this match?
I mean, Royal Rumbles can be great, and I think
they were great last year.
Do you remember the Royal Rumbles of the 90s? So say like 96, 97, 90, 96 to 99, right? And even 2000 to a degree. The Rumble before the Rumble started, there was a storyline. There was something going on. So 98 is probably one of the better ones, I think. Austin basically beating up all other 29 people on Raws.
And everyone wants to kill him.
And everyone wants to kill him, and it's kind of like a bounty on his head. And then, that Rumble was so good. And then 99, what was the catchphrase? What was the catchphrase of the Royal Rumble 99?
No chance in hell.
Which is still used today, and that story was amazing. Although the ending,
I love the 99 Rumble. Everyone hates it. I love the ending.
Yeah,
just Cole going, no.
It had a great story. 96 had the Shawn Michaels needs his WrestleMania.
Shawn Michaels, I love you, Shawn. You can do no wrong.
What a maneuver!
Slide it in, Shawn. Slide it in dry.
Oh God, don't. But 97 didn't really have a story. It's just that. Well, I mean, it built to that was the Final Four thing, wasn't it?
It was like, is Brett going to get screwed, or is Austin going to do the big one?
Yeah. So
and it was like sort of both.
So my point is, they don't do that anymore.
No, they don't. They have I'm going to win the Royal Rumble.
You know what the only build for this Royal Rumble was?
Who's getting slot 30?
No, yeah, and it was on Facebook, and it was fucking R-Truth that won.
Yeah, but he didn't even get it.
Well, we'll get to that in a second.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't need to see old men go into the Rumble and take bad bumps, but they need to do this. I mean, when DDP was in it a few years ago, the fucking pop he got. I mean, Jarrett got a good nostalgia pop, sure, but I mean, Angle. I love Kurt Angle, but I think he either should have been in it for long enough that it makes you have the tiny bit of doubt in your mind, thinking, "Oh shit, are they gonna make him win?"
That's what I thought.
Therefore, you get the heat of him getting kicked out by someone, as opposed to him getting heat from the crowd because he wasn't in it long enough, which is what they got. Seth was the favourite since around November, December time when they first started putting the betting odds up. There was no surprise there.
Yeah.
I suppose the Nia thing is quite interesting because Meltzer says that he's of the opinion that this might be them doing a very slow build towards having intergender stuff not be banned anymore in WWE.
I think it's dead obvious that's what they were attempting to do. And obviously Nia is the most credible woman because of her size.
Yeah, that's exactly what he said.
She can hang with the big guys because she's like 6 foot tall and weighs probably 300 pounds.
Yeah,
and she probably can kick the shit out of people. Discussion for another day. Me personally, intergender wrestling isn't my thing.
No, not me neither.
I can't remember who made the Twitter comment, but it made me cack it so much because it's like, isn't the kink scene little women get smashed around by big lads? And I'm like, that's pretty much fucking it in a nutshell, mate. Yeah, that's it. I can't remember who said it, but that's exactly it. But I just thought it was like, Nia's fine. Obviously, she's fucking Becky thing is probably like, thank fuck she's actually recovered from that, because if Becky ended up having to retire or whatever, or lose the WrestleMania spot because of getting smashed in the fucking skull,
that's
getting go away heat.
That's one thing I just forgot to mention about the Women's Rumble. The whole thing with Becky and Nia coming face to face, I thought that was really well done.
Yeah. Because they can't interact because it's Raw and SmackDown, but it was so well done. Like, just the face of everyone's absolutely fucking bricking it because Becky's coming in, but Nia's like, oh shit, I'm the only one standing, and she's coming straight for me.
Yeah, that was good.
And she just smashes her right across the face with her thing, and then you got the little tease where Nia's like, I've got you by the hair, and I'm literally going to clump you in the face.
Yeah, and obviously they do the thing when Becky's about to get in the ring, and she pushed her off the stairs as well, which was good.
Yeah, and the thing is as well, to Nia's credit, she's got a ton of heat. Not X-Pac heat, but actual heat because of that. And this accentuated in this particular match because she literally got the shit knocked out of her by Orton, Ray, and who else did something? Ray, Orton, and Dolph.
Might have been Dolph. Can't
Basically,
remember.
she got ganged up by 3 blokes.
Easy.
I know. Well, it's PG now, pal. Orton fucking teased, just like a. It's so ridiculous. How, like, out of context, how terrible it is, where he's literally stalking her, waiting for her to turn around, and he's like, I'm going to just absolutely smash you with my KO.
Yeah,
but if this is them testing the waters, then fuck it. Obviously, people are going to be happy with it. Me personally, it's not my cup of tea, but if you're going to have someone in the match do that spot.
Who was the Iron Man?
Nice.
Oh, Mustafa Ali. Seth. Oh no, sorry, Seth was the Iron Man. You're right.
Seth.
He only came in number 10.
He was in it for he came in. I was literally going to say he was in like the top brackets of the Rumble. Probably him and then Ali. He was in it for a while.
Yeah, he was. Drew had 4 eliminations. Braun had 5, as you'd expect. Yeah, and Nia only got rid of Mustafa Ali. And Mustafa Ali is the person who dumped out... I think he dumped out Joe?
Yes.
Yeah, he dumped out Nakamura and Joe, actually.
Who got rid of Dean? Oh, that was Black. Sorry. I think it's someone else.
Alistair Black.
I knew someone knew it. That's right.
Yeah, so it is Seth Rollins, WrestleMania 35. I think that could be a good match.
Depends how Brock is. Depends how Brock is feeling.
Yeah, but I think work rate, Seth could get something good. I don't know. Who the fuck knows?
It also depends at this point. I know it's ridiculous, but it's like, is Brock retaining? Because Seth can bump around as much as he fucking wants and try and work a match, but ultimately, if Brock wins and we've got another 8 months of him on off with the same fucking program over and over again, it's just fucking boring.
Yeah, I kind of agree. Right, well, and that's the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, it was a very long show.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
If it was trimmed by about a good hour and a half, it might be better.
Andrade got some decent stuff in. I think he only did 1 elimination, but it was Randy Orton he got rid of. And he was in for about 20 odd minutes. I think he's getting a nice little push. That could be good.
He is, yeah. Him and Mysterio have been fantastic. What was it? I can't remember. Someone on Twitter saying like, it's, WWE looking for a new Hispanic triple team, and it was like Sin Cara, Ray, Andrade. And I'm like, that makes no fucking sense. How does that work?
Yeah. Well, there you go. Shall we get into some news?
Let's get into news. Let's horribly date this episode.
Well, let's do one thing first. AEW, what do you think?
I still remember Impact, so I remain optimistic. I think it's going to do wonders for the lads getting contracts and stuff, because they literally now have an option to go somewhere. But it depends if they get TV or not, man.
Well, apparently they are going to get TV.
And there's other things as well. Like, I don't agree with Russo on most things, but them saying, we're not going to have writers, the wrestlers are going to be in charge of their own storylines, that sounds like fucking suicide.
Well, it'll be the Bucks. The Bucks will book.
No, but they've said the wrestlers are in charge of their own storylines.
Well, yeah, they're wrestlers though. They'll book. They booked all in, so.
I know, but what happens if a wrestler says, I don't think that goes with my character? Who's going to be the end all and say, no, you're doing that?
Every fucking wrestler is going to say that. Imagine
who's going to be. I know, but who's going to be Vince? Who's going to say, no, pal, that's not going to work for me, pal?
Well, it'll be Cody, I imagine.
Does he get the authority though?
He's the.
I mean, he is if he's paying, isn't he?
Him and the Bucks. Those 3 are the high. Apart from Tony Khan, they're the 3 highest executives.
Yeah, I remain I'm optimistic. It's such an. We had this with Impact, New Japan, obviously, as well as expanding. It really depends on how strong they are at the gate.
Well, if you count All In, they're quite strong, and their very early roster is looking quite trim. It's quite good.
I'm optimistic. It's just I'll wait and see, and then start believing it. I've been burnt too many times with these fucking things, man.
Yeah, it's interesting, and you're right. Basically, AJ's contract runs out in April, and if there's a few stories, probably via Meltzer, because he's a fucking mark for the Young Bucks.
This is where we're gonna get our little market share, because now, if you want unbiased news, you have to come to us. Because Wrestling Observer Radio is now officially AEW's fucking, sponsored content, pal.
Allegedly. But yeah, I guarantee you there's a story in the next couple of months saying AJ AEW bound, and it means he's probably going to get a lovely bumper contract, which he deserves. So yeah.
Well, from Vince or from AEW?
Oh no, from Vince. They won't let him go.
No,
he won't want to go. Well,
he said. I always remember in Austin's interview, it was like, "So what's your plans?" He's like, "I'm under contract, and I would love to work backstage." It's like he wants to be a producer.
And yeah,
this is the twilight of his career. It's coming to an end sooner rather than later. And if he wants to produce, then fuck it. Looking forward to that. I don't think he's going to want to keep wrestling for another 4 years, especially in an untapped entity like AEW. But who knows? They might offer him fucking $10 million.
Yeah, well, you never know. But yeah, it should be interesting. Was it Double or Nothing? All in 2 basically is in May, so we'll see how it goes. All in was fun
for that, or
no? It's in May. No? They've got 5 months to fill, 4 months to fill.
That's true. Okay,
but yeah, it's options for the boys, so it's nothing but good news.
Yeah, exactly, because ultimately now it's like previous. It's like you either go to Japan, and that's very fucking untested for Gaijin. Ring of Honor, where you're going to take a pay cut, or Impact, where you're really going to take a pay cut.
Yeah, plus Omega is 100% going to AEW.
100%. I don't watch Being the Elite, but
I can't watch it. I don't like it. I like everyone.
You're optimistic about AEW. Don't watch
the
web series. That's basically the only build to it.
I just don't like it. It makes me cringe. But
it's a bit like the Nostalgia Critic. It's just a bit cringy.
But I mean, I don't mean that in a terrible way. I just mean it in a I can't personally watch it. I don't get any entertainment out of it. I just find it cringy. But
yeah,
it's a fantastic vehicle for what they do. So they know what they're doing.
Muzzle top. If it's your sort of thing, fuck it. Obviously, we're in the minority because loads of people love it, but it's just not our thing.
Yeah,
I want wrestling. Damn it.
So our last bit of news is apparently, was that a Trevor McDonald reference?
Hello, Trevor McDonald with wrestling news
at 10.
At 10.
Bong.
John Moxley, a.k.a. Oh, God, it's going off.
Bong. Oh, no, not... Oh, this is quite Undertaker-y. Anyway, yes. John Moxley, former CCW hardcore wrestler, now Dean Ambrose in the WWE, has apparently given notice, and he will not renew his contract in April. And he is apparently done with the WWE.
Fuck.
Yeah. You have to admit, they've not used him well at all for a long time.
No. Arguably since the Shield broke up. Who was your favourite Shield member? Is it Dean or Seth? Or do you like Roman?
That's a hard question.
Dean was always my boy. I loved Dean.
Probably was Dean. Maybe I like even though he gets a lot of shit for it. I liked his US title run because he did a lot of stuff on house shows. And
which one? With the one with Shield?
The first one where he broke the record. Yeah, when he broke the record. Yeah, I thought that was good. I thought that was a good fit for him because the other two had the tag titles, didn't they?
Yeah, exactly. Because I mean, maybe they were just trying to get Roman more integrated into what the WWE style, because he literally got dumped straight up from NXT as opposed to the other two where they've been fucking wrestling for donkeys years.
Yeah, Ring of Honor.
But I always thought Dean. I've said this on Twitter, so I'll just regurgitate it. I always thought Dean was going to be the chosen one out of that group, just because he had the talk, and you thought if the Shield's going to implode, he's going to be the fucking epicenter of it. He'll be the one that pulls the trigger because he's just he's got that nasty streak to him.
Well,
and then they did the big swerve with Seth doing.
But he also has the character work.
Yeah.
You ever seen his FCW stuff with Regal?
Only a little bit of it. Yeah.
Really
I know
good.
we're talking,
his character in, was it FCW? And then the early NXT. Yeah. So it was really good. I think he was he? I don't know if he was Dean Ambrose then or if he was John Moxley. I can't remember the name. But he wrestled in he looked like a little bit like Piper in his attire. And he was just an unhinged psycho. And his promos were great. And I always quite liked that shitty production value that FCW had. kind of made it
feels
look
a bit more authentic.
Well, it's like there's 40 people in the crowd, and they've got all the and they've got all the banners up on the walls.
That's it.
Actually, looks like old episodes of The Ultimate Fighter UFC, which are quite good. Anyway, yeah, it was just so good, and you always thought, and that's when he obviously did That's when they did that angle with Foley. You remember when he just said,
"That's it." I was literally about to say the Foley thing that never happened.
Don't talk about my kids. Don't talk about my kids, and we're gonna do some good stuff. And he kept bringing up his kids, and he kiboshed it, right? I think that's what happened.
I think something like that. You'd have to recheck it.
But
it might not necessarily be like that.
That was probably going to end up in being a big push for him, and that probably stunted him. But he was a good fit in the Shield. I think he was my favourite Shield member. I loved it when he became champion the first time, and I thought that the latest brand split, having him as the champion, I thought he fit that role really well.
That's what I mean. Again, going back to my little Twitter thing, I was like, that cash in at Money in the Bank where he actually wins the big one. It's like, fucking hell, bells. He's like, he's the guy out of all three Shield members. Seth's been a chicken shit the whole time. Roman's got busted just about to get busted for roids, and no one fucking likes him.
Mm-hmm.
Dean's the chosen one, but it's like they waited too long to pull the trigger. Like, arguably, they really should have done it before WrestleMania. When Triple H won it, and he had that. Remember, Roadblock, or whatever it's called, where you think Dean might actually beat Triple H and get into the WrestleMania spot, and the crowd is so behind him. You're like, holy shit, he is the guy, and it's like, nah, pal, we're not pulling it.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, they didn't see it in him, and they just kept giving him the goofiest shit over and over again. It's like the first year when he's like the lunatic fringe, he's got hot dogs, and he's got the blow up doll and the fucking wrenches and all that nonsense, and he's somehow making it work. It's ridiculous, and he's still getting over.
Very hokey. Yeah.
So that's what the news is. Apparently, he said he's not a fan of the hokey shit, but he just knuckled down and still did it anyway, like a good worker.
Yeah, no, you're right.
And it's just so he's off for most of 2018 with a severe staph infection.
Well, he nearly died, right?
He nearly died. Yeah, nearly died. Similar to Punk.
Mm.
Just accumulated in his system, and it nearly fucking killed him. Comes back, he looks hench as fuck, and he's got all the momentum. Roman has to disappear, and they use, tacky it is tacky, but they use his cancer as a storyline element. And what do they fucking do? They make him into Howard Hughes, and it kills his momentum. Stone dead, just kills it because no one takes it seriously. It's hokey as fuck.
Yeah,
no one buys it. And for the last not even that. When did Roman go? October. 3 months. He's literally just been spinning his wheels with a title reign that no one gives a fuck about.
Yeah, I even forgot he had the IC belt for a short time.
Exactly.
No,
and it's like,
you're right.
It's such a big shame. I'd loved his WWE title run. Even the Ellsworth stuff, again, just hokey as fuck. But him and AJ doing really well.
Yeah, I thought that was good.
And it's just, if he is actually going at WrestleMania or going just after, what a shame. I thought he'd be a lifer, but he's...
Yeah, well, I guess if that's what he wants to do. There's either talk he's retiring, or there's talk he'll end up in something like AEW. Who knows? Stick him in... Imagine him in New Japan. That sounds wonderful to me.
I could picture him straight in Suzuki Gun.
Yeah.
Just have him with Suzuki as like the unhinged crazy person.
But it depends. It sounds to me like he's probably... There's one rumour that he's done with wrestling and that he's going to retire. But who knows? It'd be a big signing for anyone who could sign him. If he's still interested, It'll be a huge signing. But yeah, there you go. Dean Ambrose.
Shocking, absolutely shocking today. I thought he'd be there for life, but it's obvious that he loves wrestling and maybe he's been burnt out by it.
Yeah.
Again, you can also draw the comparison to Jericho when he first took his sabbatical.
Yeah, but
he was around the same thing.
What is Dean Ambrose going to go sing for a shit metal band?
He might take 1.5 years off, recharge his batteries.
Oh my god! So many people on Twitter.
I don't know.
So many people on Twitter suck fucking Jericho off, saying how much they love Fozzy. No one loves Fozzy.
Everyone's eighth favorite band.
Oh god!
Name your favourite Fozzy song. Judas. Before that.
That's anyone I know. Yeah.
That's exactly it. I don't know, man. Obviously, more news will come out in the coming weeks. This might be horribly dated. Vince might be able to go like, "Pal, I'll do whatever you want."
Yeah.
He won't. He might.
Yeah.
But Absolutely gutted. Absolutely fucking gutted about it.
Yeah. And on that bombshell, we bring an end to this episode.
Yes.
Lovely stuff. Right, well, thanks for listening. It's good to be back. We'll be back a lot sooner. We've got some unfinished business to do with Goldberg. We've got other things we want to talk about, and we'll probably be around a little bit more frequently. So, thank you for listening. Catch us on Twitter, SWA_podcast, smarksforAttitude@gmail.com, and soundcloud.com/smarksforAttitude. So, again, thank you very much. Say goodbye, Harry.
Goodbye, everybody. Thanks for listening.